Okay, well, wait.
Hold up.
Viking, are
Yeah.
we streaming?
Yeah, we're live.
Thank God.
No,
Real
I
quick,
I
real quick,
prepped. I prepped.
Good.
Roll20's shadow and stuff like that. I don't know if I need to tell you if my vision has changed. Do I
Has
need to tell you
changed.
that?
that's right.
Yeah, it's changed from 60 to 120 feet of magical dark vision based on my level up.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's
I want to play an Owlin so bad now.
If we get to it, I'll make we'll fix that.
okay.
Nathan,
Huh?
the Owlin get 120 feet of dark vision like the regular owl,
Nice.
Alrighty.
and a fly speed so long as they're not wearing any medium armor or anything like that. But it's only 30 feet.
Last time, our heroes were
Told you I'm island.
finally woken and well rested after defeating a very, very ruthless Ragazu. Or Glabrazu. Ragazu. And we decided to continue traveling north towards Blumenthal and Hupperduk. As we're heading north, we notice a group of individuals along the roadside where they kind of are mirroring the same actions we are. We're kind of like jumping off the road because we were unsure if their um, ambitions and if they were friendly or not. And as we decided just to keep moving forward, we ended up passing them, and it ends up being the Knight Captain Orami, and he is obviously with the Kryn and everything like that, and telling us that we cannot move forward. However, we do tell him about our alliance with the Kryn and who we know, and we do gain free passage. Um, as we bed for the night, the next day we end up reaching Hupperduk. Um, and as we're reaching Hupperduk, it shows that there are large holes are burrowed through the mountain and whatnot. Upper Hupperduk is now collided with Lower Hupperduk, as it seems like has landslided down. A lot of commotion during the night. And as we're looking for a place to rest, we find the Artificer's Augmentations, a name that we have heard once before, and that was the traveling band of dwarves or gnomes.
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 Gnomes and halflings.
Yeah, doors.
And we go inside there where it's all boarded up, and we kind of somewhat break in, not really. And we find one item of the ripped tether bracer, the one item that we did not buy from their magical cart the time we saw them last. Saren tries to contact them and without any luck, and it seems like they have unfortunately met a terrible fate. We bed for the night, and the next morning we leave the ruinous Hupperduk, and as we're leaving, we feel this rumble-like tremor. We don't think much of it. As we continuing past Hupperduk and northward, we reach the Dwelling Empire front, and that's when Racina then comes in handy and confronts them regarding about who we are and that we're able to pass through. We bed for the night, and that's when the next day, we approach 13 individuals on the side of the road. They inform us how they were attacked by these shark ground creature-like things, and that they were accompanied by bandits, and that they were unable to keep going forward without a somewhat of a scout. We freely take that role, and we're like, yeah, we can go ahead and look ahead. And with no luck, there's nothing there. Saren messaged him regarding about it's free travel. And that night we bed down. Next day we come across a small village that has been attacked by bullets that attacked the watchtower. Oh wait, no, yeah, no. That's when we saw that there were bullets that were attacked, but there was no actual anything left afterwards. Continue northwest towards Blumenthal, coming through a snowy pass when suddenly we hear the sound of rain. At least what we thought was rain. We then get under our domes as glass starts falling from the sky. A phenomenon that has been heard about once before by our lovely Anavir Victoria. As the dome is up for an hour, we wait for this glass to pitter out, and then we journey onward and bed for the night before we reach Blumenthal. We reach Blumenthal at midday, as it is all produce and livestock come from this town. As we enter Blumenthal, Anavir then is now Vic, and Rosina is now Annie to help hide their personas. Um, Anavir and the rest of the Frigid Six go and find out about his mother as well as his uncle. Whereas Rosina, who is now Amy, and I go out and take care of business she had in the first place about being in Blumenthal. And that's where our characters left off. And so on and so forth.
It's Annie, but you're almost there.
I wonder
You're
if she's
Vic.
okay.
She's Annie.
Yeah, she's Annie.
She also
You
an
said
orphan?
Amy.
Annie.
I wonder if she'll be okay.
Enough.
Was she
Chris, I
hit
saw
by a
that head nod.
smooth?
Thank you.
Was she hit by a smooth criminal?
I don't know, man.
She got hit by that, truck.
Of an ass.
Raccoon.
That's
All right,
not
thank you,
okay.
Stormy.
Outbound edition.
Chris. Chris. Thank you. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. Yeah. All right.
That said, though, you are now in Blumenthal. So, it hasn't snowed in some time here, and it's starting to kind of show across the town, but there's still this overall extreme cold that continues to wrap the area. I believe you last left off near the Zion Market, dead center in Blumenthal. And
We have music.
it's up to you where you wish to head. Anvir knows at least most of the names here. There's a few that are newer, by and large mostly the Burn and the Righteous Brand camp, but otherwise most of this is familiar.
Okay, well, Vic, where would you like to head?
Well, I'd like to go to the Immaculate. Is that how you pronounce it?
The Immaculate, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the center of the government here, and it's where predominantly your uncle resides.
Okay, if that's where you wish to go, is there anything we should be wary of while wandering? Anyone we should be looking out for? Anyone we don't wish to meet?
Well, if we can avoid talking to my uncle, that would be probably preferable.
Okay, any particular reason why?
We do not see eye to eye very well.
Okay, there's a difference between not
Didn't he
seeing eye
kick
to
you out?
eye.
I've been banished from this place from him, so
Okay,
Ooh.
that answers the question better.
yes.
So if he sees us and knows it's you,
We would be in a
we
tight
have
us.
to fight a bunch of guards.
or worse.
Most likely.
No, there won't be anything worse. Worse would be we killed the guards. That'd be the worst thing that could happen.
What
I'm
if we
not-
do is kill the guards?
It wouldn't even be the worst for us. That'd be worse for them.
Yeah. I have my own abilities to get out of any really terrible situations, so personally I'm not too worried.
Yeah, all I want to do is go by there, and then there will be my house. So
Okay, well,
Are you going
You turn yourself invisible.
no.
I can
you
do
going
that and
past
other things.
the Immaculate and around it?
Yeah.
To the home. Okay, to the homes around there.
Mhm.
And there is like small paths that wrap around this like cathedral of bureaucracy like building with stained glass in portions and the buttresses that kind of help support it. It is probably the gaudiest government building you could imagine.
And I'm from Gordon, where we have 3 giant magical towers.
Let's say
And
something.
I'm like, oh. I see the building. Is this what people think of
Yeah, but-
Gordon's government?
Gordon's got like elven architecture and influence. This is a
This is a big
cathedral
fat meh
of a-
in the middle of a relatively normal town.
Yeah.
This is a big fat fucking shiny turd in the middle of like a normal like town. It's as if Morgan Hill had like a 64-story skyscraper. It'd be,
Be
like,
quiet, my uncle's
It'll
gonna
be
hear
like
you.
if Morgan Hill had a mega church dedicated to
Oh.
Amazon. So kind of
God,
take these.
no.
Just
Ugh.
give it like 3 months, it'll happen.
You take this pathway around, and you can kind of see the 4 buildings
Fine.
that represent for the families and friends that live or do most of their work in the Immaculate. There is obviously the Victoria family home Anvir was raised ever since being taken over by his uncle. And then there is a collection of other abodes, one of which does not seem to have anyone home. The other two appear to at least be in some state of lived in or having people reside in them. As you kind of enter this area, you can already note that there are Crown's Guard and a dotting of a righteous brand here making patrols.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, let's continue.
Just make your way right to the building.
Here, Chris, is there any point, like, when we're headed to the building that there's kind of, like, not enough people around that I could quickly cast a spell and it wouldn't look out of place?
Looking around, there are a lot of guards in this corridor.
Mm-hmm.
And already your presence is noted as you have kind of come around and you are immediately noticed, but no one seems to be paying mind. As you start to move towards the home, attention shifts to you. So you're not going to have a moment unless you wanted to try
Okay.
doing it subtly.
No, I'm okay.
As approaching the family home, one of the righteous brand kind of extends a hand. Hold. The area is off limits.
Why?
This is for government officials only.
The homes are for government officials only.
Yes, these homes are for government officials only back here. Do you have business?
Yes, with the Victorious.
Then you are best heading into the Immaculate. The Starosa has not left there in some time.
My business is not with the Starosa.
Starosa is the owner of that home.
Ouch.
Is there any other Victorias I can speak with other than the Starosa?
There is not. I apologize, but
Oh.
you will have to go around into the front of the Immaculate.
Okay,
Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Kind of waits till you guys are definitely heading out before he continues
Yeah.
back on patrol.
That's
I-
bizarre.
I cast Mislead and I walk back in. That would work
I-
perfectly.
I
Chris,
wish.
wouldn't it? No, Mislead would work perfectly. I become invisible. An invisible double of me can walk and talk in whatever direction I want it to. I could go in.
How bizarre.
Okay. As we're
that's
walking, yes. Anavia. I say the name and I stop right from what I said. Did any of the guards notice what I just said?
No. By this point, you kind of walked for
Away.
far enough away that no one.
They're
just-
like,
"Huh?"
okay, cool.
Yeah. Or even
Okay.
if they did hear an inkling of it, they're not like jumping to guard.
Anavir is a very common name, anyways. There's a million Anavirs.
Vic,
Popular. Town hero.
Vic,
Of course.
where are we wanting to go now?
I don't want to go to the Immaculate. That'd be so bad. But
We could
I
send.
feel like we can find
some of us
evidence there.
I
And I don't want to
who's-
make it obvious either.
Who's less likely to stand out? If
Here.
you go there and then send others
Well,
elsewhere.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, we can't find any more information in the Macula or whatever. Let's just sneak our way through at night or something.
Well, here's a question. Where's a
could
good
prepare
spot that I can
disguise
have
self.
about?
Here's one.
Where's a spot that I can have about 11 minutes to like sit and think for a second?
Guys, you two, Anvir and Saren can roll perception checks just
Yeah.
looking around here.
Yeah, I'll look.
I will
Be
indeed.
right back.
Nighttime might be our
shit.
best for scouting.
31, Chris.
Got it.
Just do his.
Aaron, you say this, and as you're glancing around on this side of the Immaculate, you can glance and see an orchard that probably isn't getting much attention at this point in winter.
Mhm.
And you're reasonably confident if you just threw yourselves into that tree line that you could have at least 11 minutes of relative privacy.
Okay, I'll start heading for the tree line.
I'll
You
start
all
heading
Same.
tree
can
line.
you all can follow me. You all can continue. I'll
I'm
just
going
find a
to the
little
tree
spot.
line for a specific reason. I'm gonna change my disguise to Red Dragonborn No Tail.
All right.
Okay. No, wait. I thought Anavir had the ring to look not like
I
Anavir.
have the hat of disguise
Oh,
that I never
when did
gave
you get?
back.
Oh, you have the hat and a ring. Why do you have a hat and a ring?
Why
It's
not?
called a hat of disguise.
The hat of disguise, but it's a ring.
Yeah,
was
no,
it?
it's yeah,
It's yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
we changed
Can't
that
quite
in
use that.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Can't quite use
You
that
have
right
both of these? Goddamn!
Why is it on me?
Oh, because Annabelle probably didn't put it into his thing, so good thing you still have it.
So the party, you all swivel and head into the orchard.
And I'll find a nice spot and cast Commune.
Okay. Give me a hot moment.
No worries.
What's it called?
What's what called?
The ring?
Hat
Or
of
the hat.
disguise.
Okay.
I do ask Vic what his mother's name is.
Do I remember my mother's name?
Roll me a history check.
Oh, Commune, not Commune.
13.
You cannot recall.
Okay.
You were
I get to
young again when it happened. And you usually just called your mom mom. You didn't say, my mother.
This.
Mom.
Yeah.
3 questions.
Mommy, mommy.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Well,
Well
There it
then,
is.
you're casting Commune.
mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to do anything in the meantime?
It's 11 minutes. If you want to cast a big fancy ritual spell, now's the time to do it.
Do I know anyone in this town that I can trust that is like a best friend of mine or something?
Roll another history check. The DC is lower on this because
Okay.
you would know their names more likely.
Yeah.
And you were. Yeah.
A history check, right? So that's a 16.
Okay. You know of. Quickly pulling up names here. You recall the name of an elven man that worked as a servant, both at your home and within the Immaculate, named Venrath. And you two, yeah, Venrath and you normally got along pretty well. Compared to your uncle, who was very rigid, he was the kind of flexible one in the strange relationship of quasi-parents you found yourself after the first goblin attack.
Okay.
He's the cool uncle as opposed to the not cool uncle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this time to cast Sending.
Okay.
Hey, this is Anavir.
And yeah.
Wanted to check in I happen to be in town. Would like to meet privately.
There's about like a 5-7 second buffer as you first time, I believe, sending your voice across
Hmm.
in this method, a mental word before you.
Oh, God.
Your head is now filled with another voice. I cannot believe by Pelo's might that you are still alive. Yes, yes. The Windfell Plaza. My home is beside the hedges. Please come when you can.
Windfleld in the
The
hedges?
Windfell Plaza. Just to
Okay.
look at near the hedges.
Okay.
What was the name of the person you
Van
just
Rath.
talked to?
Van Rath. Yeah.
Venrath.
Van.
Venrath.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, I wouldn't know the name. Never mind. I don't hear him speak it, so it doesn't matter. Okay, Chris.
Okay.
Okay.
Upon your completion of commune, the relative kind of shade around the orchard kind of grows darker and fades into a small like twilight area about the size of the shroud that usually goes over. It's just a little bit of twinkle in this area. What are your questions?
Do we have more than a week of time until Oban strikes at the church?
There's a moment, and then the relative area, the light begins to pick up and illuminate, and you gather that the answer is yes.
Okay.
So, fellas, I was able to communicate with a long friend from this town, and I'm supposedly going to visit, or we should visit, Wenville Plaza, right?
Yeah, you can see it's all the way across town from you.
Okay.
We should go, but we should take precautions just in case.
I know, Chris, the answers can only be yes
no,
or
maybe.
no's. Yes.
Yes, no, or
Wenville. Okay, yeah, Wenville.
Okay. But I'm asking this question. I know it's going to be an and or question, but I'm expecting the answer to be a yes, no, or maybe. I'm aware of the question I'm asking. I'm aware of the answer I'm going to be getting. Are the answers we seek about Anavir's mother in the Immaculate or his uncle's house?
Once more, the light around the area picks up, and it kind of bright illuminates and allows that sun to pour through the trees once more. You have a belief that the answer is yes.
Okay.
Around this time, you kind of notice, looking around, that Wolfgang is just making his way out of the orchard now.
I wouldn't. I'm communing.
Yeah.
The final question would be, must we interact with the Starossa? No. That's not that. No. Does the Starossa himself, Anavir's uncle, have the answers we seek?
And once
Have
more,
answers to the question we seek, yeah.
the illumination brightens, and the sun pours in, and then it just fades as the twilight around this area gives way to sun once more.
Well, that's an answer.
You have no idea what happened.
No.
I am. It's like sending most interactions I have when it comes to other people, like from spells, are silent. You
They're
don't
just
get
in
them.
my head.
Yep. Do I see Wolfgang starting to walk out of the orchard?
By now, yeah, he has made his way just kind of back onto the main street and heading towards the front of the Immaculate's Plaza area.
Did he say anything to us?
No.
Where's Wolfgang going?
I'll go see
Annabelle.
Wolfgang.
Ask him. You have the ability to quickly ask with no issue.
Hey, Wolfgang, where you going?
You have message, don't you, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I'm.
You fucking idiot. Actually, it's not this. It's this. You have a skill.
Wolfgang is out of voice communication range.
Sending.
If you wanted to send a sending.
Message would probably be in range. It's 120
Okay,
feet.
Realistically, yes, I would cast sending at that time.
Message.
Or message.
Not
Or
sending.
yeah, message specifically. God damn it.
One is a third level. One is a cantrip.
True. Yes.
Big difference.
Where was Wolfgang walking? to?
Harbinger, this is sending.
This is sending. This is.
Messaging.
Does
okay.
he respond to your? Wolfgang, do you
message?
respond to the message?
Yeah, just hold on. I'm just looking something up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm just scoping things out. Carry on without me.
Alrighty.
Okay.
He's scoping out.
So, I spoke with my deity. I checked a couple things. For one, we have more than a week until Oban strikes. So,
Alright.
7 days as of today.
Got till then.
Chris, what's today? In the calendar?
Today
That's a good question.
is, because it hasn't changed, it is the 10th of Duskar.
Got it. Thank you. The 10th of Duskar. Got it. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay, and then I ask either the Immaculate or your uncle's house has the answers we seek about your mother.
That's no
And your uncle
surprise.
does have the answers we seek as well. Um,
Now getting those answers is another story.
yeah, it depends. I believe I have a way to deal with this. The question is really, how rough do we wish, how badly do you want the answers, and how rough do we wish to be?
Well, let's put that to the side for now because I like to meet my
As
old
rough as
friend.
possible.
Okay. Because
And then we can discuss further, like,
I believe we have the ability, a truth-telling ability.
mhm.
Does Wolfgang have that? Yeah.
So, multiple people in the party also have the ability to become invisible, as well as look out for
I can
things that could
also
see
teleport
those.
you out if I have to.
Yeah, we have multiple people who could go in and multiple people who could get out. So, when it comes to getting in and out of places, the only problem I have currently is my armor. But other than that, that's not
Alright.
bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let's
well,
talk
yeah.
to Vinrith
Yeah.
about the whole bit, and then get an
Okay.
idea of what we can do.
Okay. I realize as we're walking, then Chris, I will say to everyone, I did realize. Did we set a time to meet up with Reinhardt and Annie anywhere?
Sound like
Nope.
we were gonna meet in the.
Nope.
I think your only assumption was at night you would meet maybe at the Vine Growth Inn.
Okay, that's it.
Otherwise,
And okay, cool.
Well, now 3 of us have. Wait. Do you have the ability for sending as well, Stormer?
No, I can prepare messaging though. That's it.
Cantrip?
Or I can just find you with an owl.
True. But 2 of us have sending, so it's not really a huge issue. I also can cast Commune twice a day for free with no issue, and after then it gets progressively worse. My odds go down and more and more. So, from now on, everyone, if you have any questions you wish answered, I might be able to find the answers. Just write them down and let me know.
Cool.
All right.
I'm not gonna ask that.
Chris, Anavia, how far is the? Because we're in the Grove still. How far is is your friend's house?
The other side of town, so not that.
Okay. Before we go, let me know. I need to duck into an alley and make sure we can see everything.
Very well. Let's make our way there.
Yeah. Amy waddled away. Waddle, waddle, waddle.
If you quickly head into alley, what are you casting?
Once we're close to the house, I'll be casting See Invisibility, like in an alley or something. That way I can just quickly and have my eyes.
Yeah, I'll do the same for See Invisibility.
Yeah, you'll both cast that. You kind of move into a area right near Zion Market. Cast, and you allow yourself to see past that barrier of invisibility as you progress towards the Windfell Plaza.
And all we see is magical celestial, not celestial, but astral sea whale's asshole just right in front of the door. Well, we can't see shit now.
If you had the other one.
But no, See Invisibility, you can see, I believe, if I remember correctly, isn't it See Invisibility as well? That you can see into the astral plane?
No.
The ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects, apparently ghost and translucent.
This should like greater invisibility, but that will just straight block you.
No, greater invisibility doesn't stop you. It's invisible creatures and objects that were visible. You can see into the ethereal plane. Yep.
But not the astral sea.
You're right. That's true.
Astral is the space between spaces.
Yeah. Astral's the space between spaces. That is true sight. I do not have true sight.
Yeah. So you enter a modest looking plaza near the padlock. It's kind of, as Anvir would know, it's like a rift raft area. It's kind of where the people that don't fit into the mold of either merchant of produce or grower of produce fit in. People like the occasional blacksmith, priests, and the like. It's where they all huddle, and so you end up with a diverse variety of buildings sprawling all across. And there's a notable presence of Crown Guard in the region. And you look around and you can see near a hedge there is a modest home kind of built along the wall. And like there's certain parts of it that probably wouldn't be able to stand if it was not built onto the wall itself. And you would probably know that to be the house that Venraf was speaking about.
We're in the weeds?
No, you're at the Windfell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one
Got it.
The weeds is
Okay.
something different.
Okay. Chris, before we head in, I kind of check out the windows and around the door and kind of just give a once over around where we are just to with invisibility to see if I see anything.
Can I attend to stealth since we're in a group and there's other people around?
You're fucking Assassin's Creed wanting it?
You can attempt to
Assassin's Creed
merge
1.
you can attempt to merge into the crowd, yeah. You as a bunch of outsiders and very visually unique people, you can't hide in your own team. But
Yeah.
you can head out to and find a bench to sit at, or basically blend into a crowd, barge into a
25,
conversation you
Chris.
belong in.
25.
25. You glance
You can get a roll,
around.
I guess, as well, I suppose.
There is a brief moment that you catch where you glance over and behind and you can see a purplish pink arcane eye that is kind of flaring and looking, and as you glance to it, it glances at you and it disappears.
It doesn't look the same as Trent's did.
No, it does not. It's visually different.
Okay.
Is there an alley anywhere?
Yeah, we're in.
That's just
alley.
like kind of.
We
we're
just
still
did
in
for
an
our
alley.
eyes.
All right,
You
I'm
just-
just gonna change my appearance
Okay.
physically, I guess.
How so?
Like he's going back to his almost plague doctor looking thing.
Got it.
Hood, shades, bear cape, that kind of stuff.
I'll say that's easy enough to do.
Just takes a minute.
But after enough time and that brief vision later, you come out of the alley, newly disguised.
All right, Vic, let's go.
Already.
Right. One quick moment, I need to pull up something. Okay. Kind of walk over and you go to knock, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a dunk dunk. Because on the third one, door quickly opens and you're greeted with the sight of a very modestly dressed elf who seems to be almost wearing the gown of an individual of Palor. Like a very simple attire, and his hood is somewhat up at the moment, and he's like, come in, quick.
Yes.
Proceed inside.
Got it.
Yep.
Closes, like, brief peek before he closed the door,
Coast
and
is
he kind of
clear?
glancing over.
You don't look anything like him.
No.
Wait. Who are all you?
Take off hat.
It's a ring.
Or
It's a ring. You
It's
can
a
also just
ring.
turn it off. You can also just.
Okay,
off.
just turn it off.
And he lets out like a very audible sigh of relief, and as you can kind of see, one hand was
Come on.
in the other, and was about to. You're seeing just the beginning of a glint of metal. It just slides it back.
That would have been a bad idea.
I am
Yeah.
so glad to see you again. It has been too long.
It has.
Approaches and gives you a, like he has to bend down a bit because you're not quite his size.
No.
He's a full elf, but he does
Yeah.
kind of kneel over and give you just a hug for a solid moment before letting go. I can get tea ready if need be. The study is just down there. If you can all head down there for a moment.
Chris, do you want me to roll an insight check now? Because I'm already going to be wondering if anything he says is true. Actually, the second I go into the study, I will cast guidance.
Okay.
Because he'll be in the other room. I cast guidance, and then
He's asking you all to go to study.
yeah, I'll go to the study.
Yeah, and then you can cast guidance on yourself. Yeah. And you can kind of just hear the process of him making tea, pouring the water and boiling, and eventually setting. You kind of hear the clinking of a tray as he walks over, sets it down onto a round table here in the study. It's an intimate space because you got the actual brick wall of the wall surrounding Blumenthal on one side, and then
Is
just
there a
bookcase,
window?
bookcase. No window on this area. And just few chairs, not enough for everyone. A small table at the center where that can just fit the tray and the tea.
Tornball looks huge.
I'll be
doesn't he, in
standing
that
and
room?
lean.
Corn looks massive in this room,
I'll just
I'll be-
become
I'll be
leaning in the
standing.
doorway if
Yeah.
it's possible.
and he looks pretty big in this room as well. But
I'll let Torrin sit, and I'll
He-
lean against a wall.
he kind of like lowers himself down and
Chair breaks.
I
I'm
am
not
sorry.
For Dragonborns.
I'm not
This
sitting.
is the biggest room I have.
It's all right.
Comfy as I last remember.
Yes, it's been
What is
significant time.
Anna has not told us. What's your name in relation with our friend?
He kind of bows. My name is Venrath. I was a former servant of the Starosta and Anatomy Immaculate before I quit.
Nice to meet you. I'm Theron, a friend of
It's a pleasure.
Lydia's.
The rest of you, I don't mean to pry. I just don't know your names, and I know none of you well.
Tornball.
Because it is just Torrent, Theron, and Snyder at this point.
I Harbinger, because he doesn't say his first name often. Okay, it sounds a little funny.
Yeah, there was a horse in the music. Okay, thank you. I don't know where to start. There is much I can say, much you might be wondering. I'll answer any questions you have now.
Well, is there something that I need to know now?
Yes, there is. He kind of has to like steady himself, brace himself. He sets his hand that trembles just a little onto the table. And when you were banished, it came as a shock to us all.
Me too.
It was. I pried, of course I would, with access to your uncle's study in the Immaculate. I pried, and I had found the most perturbing of information. Admittedly, in my haste, I quit before I had read it all. I had stormed out of the building and resigned. Foolish as it may be.
What was it?
It was a notation of goods to be sent. Coin, food, supplies to be sent from Blumenthal to an undisclosed location to the north, somewhat northwest. Blumenthal. I thought maybe Righteous Brand training grounds had opened up there and they would need a supply. It was very hush-hush. It was only until more digging, investigating in that room, in the study, that I had realized that that was the self-same location of the goblins that had originally attacked. A payment to a tribe of goblins to, and what I can only assume to be in the days to come, attack the city of Blumenthal.
That is absurd.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Goblins, really?
And I'll add my D4 for a total of 28.
28. Venrath is physically shaking in the telling of this tale, and it sounds rehearsed in many ways, but with a 28, you have a feeling that that rehearsal is not because it is a lie that he is memorized and told. It is because it is a truth that he has vehemently kept secret since Anvir's banishment that he is just now telling.
Anavir, why were you banished? You've never told us. I think this begs the question now. Were
I
you
can-
aware of something like this?
No reason. I can answer as that's so. The banishment came without word, without warning, but it was after your selfless defense. I will get to that,
Then,
because that is the next part.
so then that answers that.
This is madness.
Assuming
Anavir,
Is Sparta.
This is Blumenthal.
what I had said, the attack had happened some time ago. What is important is that the same payment of coin, of money, and the like was sent years later, a follow-up. That also coincides with the second attack. I don't know why the Sarosa would bestow upon goods to goblins so that they may attack his city. But in the first swath, they took out... Apologies, that is not the right term, but they had unfortunately killed your family.
Yeah.
I can only wonder why a second was necessary, but then I had investigated and looked into it. Your uncle appeared aware, and I don't know if you are, that you come from a special line of blood that is not quite the same. Tell me, have you ever in the past few years experienced gifts of Arcana that come not from magic that you learn, but magic from within?
Just recently, yeah.
Then it is exactly as your uncle feared. You have been away from the Empire for, I assume, some time. If not, then for the rest of you in case. Those that born with magical power, called High God within the Empire, in many cases considered nobility.
You guys are stupid.
Not even a wizard, it's not
I know!
I
Fucking
know.
assholes.
You're a sorcerer. As he says that,
No respect for
I'll
the
speak.
bard.
No.
Just
Then
wow.
Then Wrath or then Wrath? With a W or an R?
R.
Venma.
Okay.
Venrath.
Then Venrath. Venrath. Out
Are you
of
sure?
curiosity. Oh, one word. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I did too. Out of curiosity, were there any major after those attacks? Were there any major? Were there any major changes made by the Starossa, such that
Yes.
his power increased or something like that?
Not an increase. He was furious after the second attack. That is what you asked, right? The second goblin or first attack?
Both. Is there any increases in his power or anything of the
After
like?
the first one, yes. It was when the padlocks were created and increased security devised. The second one, though, he grew furious. He grew furious that it was over, that it had been quelled by Anavir, and I never understood, and it makes sense when you follow the
He-
trail.
But from understanding now, we believe that the attacks were to kill off the bloodline. So do we know, out of curiosity, if Anavir's uncle, is he related to his mother or his father?
This-
Jules Alessia is not related by blood to either. I don't know if you knew this, Anavia, but he had adopted you after the second, or the first, apologies, the first attack.
Oh, so uncle in name alone. Did he have any relation or knowing of the two? A man fearful of losing his power? Something like that?
That is a question I cannot answer.
Is it?
Why does he fear my power?
Perhaps he fears that you would ascend to a noble station. Perhaps he did fear your power.
But for
All
what
I know is
reason?
after the second attack, he was so furious that he banished you without cause.
Well, there must have been something happen after that. After everybody heard that I was gone, people must have done something, right? Like some sort of uprising? It
Not
makes
an
your...
uprising. No.
No.
It sound like people.
It sounds odd that no one seemed to care that their hero was now gone. What reason was spread around that he left?
Makes
There was
zero
no
sense.
slander. There is
There's
no
no
slander.
slander?
It's
Just people just
you must
took that
understand
this
how the people live here. Thankful as they were, they are not going to take to the streets on this one thing, especially against Rosa and his Crown's Guard.
I guess the menagerie costs in the Empire are even continually more and more different. I could not believe that a hero would be banished and no one would seem to care.
Blink an eye.
Do not be confused. I, for one, cared, and others did. But to go under the scale of a mass revolt, that is not what was going to happen, unfortunately.
Okay. Well then here, well, we were primarily here for one reason. Do you know information of Anavir's mother?
One moment.
Oh. Wrong button! Wrong button! Wrong button! Shit!
Or just anything about them.
He kind of has to lean back. Anavir was only... I was only aware of him after. I remember, though... He's kind of like going into thought for a moment. I know of you, though, before it. Rexian, your father, was was on loan from the Solstice Academy, so to say. Magical prodigies in Blumenthal required teaching. And so he came some years upon years ago to help. And he had a home, the one that you stayed in. The one that you were raised in. And I remember hearing that somehow Rexian, who could not laugh if his life depended on it, had found a woman. A spark of joy in everyone's life, and I had unfortunately never had the chance to meet her. If you want to know more, I suggest the Dwindle Archive. That is where any information throughout the Empire is archived.
You think back home to where I used to live, you think there's possible evidence of them?
Roll dice here.
It's been so long. I don't know. He could have scrubbed everything clean. He could have grown more sloppy in his age. I truthfully do not know. but perchance it is easier to walk into an archive where the public is welcome than to break into an area where only government officials are allowed.
Well, getting inside wouldn't be too difficult. Do we know if there... I see your town is definitely on guard, and everyone is watched. A greater question would be... It seems they're on guard for non-magical means. Do you know if there are any magical detections in the Immaculate? Any anti-magic fields people must walk into?
In the Immaculate, yes. There are means of magical protection and warding within the Immaculate. The Starossa has always wanted a fortress of kind.
Okay. So even if we were to enter unseen through magic means, it wouldn't matter.
No.
You were a servant in the Immaculate. Do you know any secret entrances? Anything that maybe secret ways of getting out? A man who would make a fortress and act like a gaudy king would have one or two ways, I believe,
Yes,
of getting out.
think about it for a little bit. And you kind of see his eyes flash in recognition as he's like starting to put pieces together in his mind. It's like, that does make sense. He will not lock himself away within something like that.
No! 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 No!
There is.
Continue.
There has to be. Within the burn.
Yes.
Segmented Town has been under construction for too many years now. He supplies less and less money to it, but there is still money that goes in, money for maintenance of some kind.
Okay.
When I
Is
left,
the Burns under heavy guard?
no, Burn is not under heavy guard.
Well,
This is an assumption, nothing more.
Hey.
But
I'll put it-
he has to have another way out, and the burn is the only area I can think of where he has any vested continuous investment.
That would make sense. Well, it seems we have our plan for the night.
Does. So much to process.
True, Anavia, but we can always process on the way. We'll
Not
need
the
to wait
process
until...
Too much, yes. Trying to...
We'll have to wait until nightfall, but my question to us here, only the four of us, because Wolfgang isn't here, do all of us have the ability to become unseen if we need it?
Yeah, for me.
You can become invisible? Snyder? Torn?
Not invisible per se.
What's per se?
I can levitate, so as long as they don't look up.
I mean, honestly, you could just go around a wall and just go whoop, whoop. We'd go in the front invisibly, and you could go around a wall, and there'd be no issue, yeah.
As long as the wall's not over 20 feet tall.
If you
how to
cast
mountain climb?
invisibility on at a higher level, you could add another creature to it, so be fine.
I don't have the ability to do that. I only have I don't have it. Ironically, I don't have invisibility. I only have greater invisibility, which is ironic because it's only for a minute and invisibility's for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
But it's worse in every other aspect other than time. But I do have my mislead, which is... Sorry, my brain totally froze. I was thinking about something. I do have mislead, which is an hour, and then I have a duplicate that just walks around like a normal person and can be a pain in the ass. Hey, Chris, out of curiosity, it says an illusionary double. Can I make that double look like anything I want or no?
No, it's a double of you.
Damn. Me at the time?
I'll say yes, you at the time.
Anavia.
So if you split away and cast Disguise Self on yourself, yes, that would work.
Anavia, that ring of yours, is it needing to be attuned to or no?
Like the Hat of Disguise, right?
Yes.
No,
As-
doesn't look like it.
No? Well then, I may be able to make it so that we have a really easy thing to do when we want to get into the burn.
Reason to go.
The,
I got other
the
things that can
is a
get around this.
Or attunement.
Oh, it does? It
Yes.
does require attunement?
Oh, does
okay.
it?
Then never mind.
I can
Hold
warp you
down.
90 feet, by the way.
If you go to inventory and scroll all the way down.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
see it. I see it.
Are you
okay.
attuned
I
to it,
just-
Anavir?
I would have to.
You
know,
you
I
have
could
to be.
You have to have been attuned, so you must unattune to something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll replace the gloves of missiles of snaring then.
Okay.
That's right, you can catch projectiles.
Well, now we can't.
Nope.
That's funny. And if your
we-
has 4 items he has to attune to, I only have 1.
I have 3.
Yeah,
I have 4, actually.
I have
Other
fucking
one.
3. I have my
I'm
my
special.
shroud, my wounds, and the eye. Period of wound closure I might end up giving to someone else if we find something else. But we'll talk
That
about that once.
That
Chris
said,
is done.
though,
Speaking of which,
I believe now we should make some plans for tonight then, so we can go into the burn.
Yep.
And check in to see if we can find a tunnel. Van Rath, do you mind if we stay here and plan for the next little while?
yes, by all means, stay. I'll leave you to it. He kind of like slowly gets up, takes his
Thank you.
tea.
Before he leaves, I give him a hug. He's like, I couldn't thank you enough.
I'm so sorry that all this has happened, and I hope you find more information about your mother.
Me too. Thank you.
Okay. Then I think
Yeah.
we should just plan for the next little bit, and then like
Sure.
Reinhardt can do some stuff.
You're going straight to the Immaculate,
Hmm?
or you're going straight for the Immaculate. You're going through the potentially the burn.
We're gonna looking. Oh shit! We need to get in contact with Wolfgang.
Okay.
Cast
Um,
something.
Yes, please.
I will-
Please,
Walk up
before
and
do you want me to
Before
just
you
find
do
him,
that,
Sarah?
before you do that,
Yes.
I come
let's
back,
move
it's like, hey, where did
over.
everybody go?
Yeah. Move over to Reinhardt and Annie.
Little more Annie.
Why do I have a third level spell slot spent?
You see, you guys,
See invisibility.
you two break off
Second
at the
level
Verdant
spell.
Alley while they head towards the Immaculate. You two head continuing just further into the nestlings of the various houses within the Verdant Alley. And Racine just leans back for a moment. Wait. We must be sure no one is following before we continue our movements. And you kind of sit there and wait for a few moments that turn into minutes. That turns into about 15 minutes. And then you can kind of watch as your party starts heading away from the Immaculate and start heading towards Windfell Plaza. And after that, she kind of glances over. Okay, let's move. And she takes you from the Verdant Alley, actually towards somewhat almost following the other party, but breaks off sharply, as she intends to head towards the Dwindle Archive. As you reach there, as mentioned, it's a bureaucratic building of sorts, very nice and elaborate. However, the grounds are mostly empty. You don't see people moving in and out. You barely see movement on the inside. There is only a fraction of light through the main glass of through the glass of the main door. And as you kind of approach, she takes the gate, and you both see as there is a lock placed upon the gate.
If you don't mind me asking, what are we doing here?
I have to check on what has happened in Blumenthal. Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion.
Just asking an honest question.
Gonna be a
Yeah,
15.
for sure. I will be right back.
15 for persuasion.
Okay. She kind of holds a moment. There was once many magically adept individuals in Blumenthal. And it is funny how many of them disappeared. And suddenly there is a lot more people like me. I just want to see how and why.
Okay.
Do you happen to have anything to break this open?
Ooh.
Fireball.
Not
Does she?
subtly.
Moment.
Wait, do you have knock?
I don't think he has knock.
I don't have knock.
Okay.
Oh,
Nothing. We can try a distraction, maybe? I think I can get your part covered. Just try to be quick.
Okay.
Going to like mutter a quick arcane word. You can kind of see her purplish magic build around her fingers. Taps you in the center of the chest, and she casts greater invisibility on you.
Oh shit.
You are invisible.
Yeah.
It's only for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Please break the lock in that time, and just make sure no one has noticed. He breaks away and starts just heading towards the market.
Since there's no one really around me, I'd try and break it with my sword, I guess.
Okay, roll an
Wait.
attack roll.
Oh, the irony! If I was
leave,
there, it'd be
take a pee,
perfect.
I'm like thinking
and
about it. I'm like, wait.
Reinhardt is attacking a gate. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. A lot.
Yes.
actually.
Irony! If anyone with the silence spell was there, it'd be amazing.
That's a
or
nat
just
20
pick the lock.
with
Okay.
a total of 30.
You
Oh my!
take the Blackest Night, and you're not just gonna go Hail Mary swing into this. You kind of take it, you line up the blade with the locking pins, and like almost kind of like put the blade in, and then there's just a very quick, and you just cleave the entire lock in just an
I'm ex-
effortless.
I was expecting the lock to just go shrapnel
Instead, it's
everywhere.
like he just hit it with a lightsaber and just went.
Yeah,
Just a,
basically like you just had a lightsaber,
and then catches it with his feet, so it doesn't hit the ground.
and you just resheath the blade.
Wait,
She
Annie,
She said
Everything's okay.
quietly.
everything's okay. It was so quiet, she didn't even realize she did it.
Sorry, just a quick thing. Okay. She comes back after a little bit longer, about like 30 seconds or so. She walks back. You can hear a little bit of commotion off in the market. Kind of sees like a completely bisected lock. It's like, okay, good.
The moment. What you do in the market?
And it cracks the gate open a little bit. And she holds it open, but you're still invisible, so waits for a little bit before slowly closing it.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Yeah. It makes way. Eventually, at this point, greater invisibility fails. Or falls. And at this point, Wolfgang,
Yes.
you have been just in the market around this time, making very minor chatter with merchants, pretending to be interested in buying cold weather produce and the like. you've been keeping your eye very subtly off on the rest, on those two, Annie and Reinhardt, and you bear witness to the invisibility, and you watch as she kind of walks into the market for a moment, kind of like digs into her coin purse, and she grabs like a fistful of platinum, sets it down, and she is very quickly making like these quick dealings, which is getting the attention of a lot of merchants. And you hear be like, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. She just walks right off and back towards the gate, causing a commotion in the market. But then you
Holy
watch,
shit.
she opens the gate, closes it behind her. She starts to make her way towards the Dwindle Archives. What are you doing?
I would like to. Would I have to roll to follow covertly?
You'd have to roll a stealth check, and it'd be against the passive perceptions of Reinhardt and Racina. And Racina.
What if I
can be
cast
a-
Pass Without a Trace?
You can add that to your stealth check.
Hey, at least it's not against you or me, Wolfgang. It's
Yeah,
people with
yeah.
It's perception.
I would not even try it with Saren. I'd just be like, yeah, no, I'm going here. See ya. I'm here, don't worry. Let's see.
Just me, the eyes in the back of my head looking at you.
Fucking
Wolfgang, stop being
Beamos.
weird.
That's what you are. That's what Saren is. He's a Beamos.
Oh, hey, wait. Oh. Hey, Chris?
Okay.
Yes.
What's the definition of familiar with? How would you define familiar with?
I would say to be familiar with someone, you would have had to have met them once.
Damn it!
25 plus 10's a 35.
Got it. They are none the wiser as you
I wouldn't be the wiser, bro.
slip ever closer, trying to. And there's at a certain point where it changes from like just passing as a member of the crowd to just direct stealth, and just trying to not be caught by them. They both enter the main room, and you can hear the inklings of their conversation as they enter. And Reinhardt kind of enter with Racina. She kind of glances around, and it is empty. There are bookcases that go far. There's a second floor bookcases, they go far. And besides the lights around right at the entrance, a candle at a desk, and a few more lights that illuminate these first few bookshelves, it is just dark all around here, and you don't see anyone else. And Racina sees that too. It's like, one quick moment. I just need to make sure on something. You kind of watch her start to cast a... Oh, yeah. I need to quickly cast something. Should take about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You can
No worries.
peruse here if should need be.
What the fuck? This is so good.
And you watch her. She kind of sets down, leaning against, and she starts to cast some type of spell. Is there anything you want to do at the Dwindle Archive? Or are you just gonna
Not
linger
really.
near the front?
I'll just linger near the front.
Okay. It takes about a minute before you can kind of hear heavy set footprints. Boom, 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 boom. And you can see coming downstairs is a scholarly figure, a furbolg woman. She goes, "Oh, hello. I was not expecting anybody." He is like kind of rushing down now. It's like, I'm terribly sorry. I did not know anyone was entering the archive today. What is your name?
Reinhardt. And
Oh!
you?
I am Archivist Yorsha.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Anything you need, it can be found here on the first floor. The first floor is open to the public, and I would refrain from you from going to the second floor. That is for the crown only.
Oh, okay.
But if you need anything, I'm more than happy to help. It's just, again, so rare anyone visits.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Shit.
If I have any further questions, I'll be sure to ask.
You come in here looking for something specific?
Yes, but in a sense, it's we'll find it. We'll see it. We'll know what it is when we find it.
I'll be off by the desk then if you need me.
Thank you.
Wow.
You
Good spell.
goes off towards there. About 10 or so minutes later, you can kind of see Ursina finishes casting her spell. As she kind of opens her eyes, you see that there's this like layer of arcane that goes over them. This like purplish pink energy. She just looks for nothing more than maybe 30 seconds before it ends. Apologize about that. I do not know your companions that well. I just merely wanted to make sure that there was no tricks being played.
What did you do?
It's a very simple scry. I just had to make sure what they were.
Where are they?
Not that far in the Windfell Plaza.
Hopefully they found something regarding Anevia.
There might be something here too. Kind of glance. Did you learn anything?
No. We can't go to the second floor, as is for personnel only.
Well, we're going to the second floor then.
That's what I thought.
Oh, that's exactly where we're going. Of course, yeah. I'm
Chris, at this point, would I be near?
You're just like leaning against the opposite side of the door, the entrance they were near. So they're inside, you are on the outside.
You already walked in. You're right next to them. They just can't see you.
Can't see me. That was. I was thinking.
You
like,
are if in Guardians of the Galaxy, if his ability to just stand there and not move actually worked.
But yeah.
I was thinking. Can I hear through the door what they were saying?
Yes.
At all?
Yeah, you can.
Good job on your passive perception.
How hard would it be for me to take to the rafters? Unseen.
Pretty difficult because this is a multi-floored building.
These are the best cookies.
Yeah, as soon as it looks like they are, as soon as it sounds like they are out of sight of the door, I will enter and continue lurking.
Okay. Let's roll another stealth check with Pass Without a Trace.
Pass without a trace.
They start walking towards the door. Not door. So they start walking towards the stairs, and it's like 100. Yeah. Still well above both their passives.
It's above my passive, bro.
And just walking towards the...
Wolfgang's actually like the WildeMount equivalent of Batman.
The Blumenthal.
No, Wolfgang. Where is the dragon? Where is the dragon?
I was born with the heart piercer.
You start walking towards the stair, and you can hear of immediate protest from the archivist. He goes, ma'am, sir, you both cannot go up there. Kind of glances back. She looks, Rosina quickly glances to you, Reinhardt, see, are you going to do anything?
Performance.
Before I do anything of that, the Myriad has like no power in this right now, right?
The Myriad?
Yeah.
Roll a history check.
Myriad? You mean the criminal organization?
That's a 20 unnatural.
Okay. The myriad appears to be from both what you recall when you're dealing with them and some sparse words you heard both in Talonstead as well as other places, that the myriad seems to exist pretty much everywhere in WildeMount. And they have some certain amount of influence. You're not sure how much influence they have in Blumenthal, but they seem to have influence pretty much in every major city.
Negative influence, huh?
Yeah. For the most part, no one looks at them as like the authorities or
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're with the Myriad. Sure, take our prisoner and leave.
Freely.
You may do whatever you want.
she
A
leans
sleep
in.
guard would be so nice right now.
If I can take care of her non-lethally if you, but I just wanted to see if you had anything up your sleeve.
Yeah, I can. But
Non-lethally?
yeah, I wouldn't kill her.
And she wouldn't know that you guys are going. Okay.
It's
But
like
it wouldn't last long.
brutally maim, not kill.
I got
brutally
this,
maim.
son.
Okay.
She's kind of like getting really worried as you both start muttering to each other, and eventually she stretches a hand
What are you
out.
guys talking about?
Stretches a hand out, and you can watch the glyph start to form on the hand. She's like, "I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna need to forget that we were here." And she's gonna cast Modify Memory on her.
Oh, damn!
What the
Better than
fuck?
That's one of the few spells I don't get.
Rolled a
Wait,
2.
isn't Modify Memory like a much higher level? Than fifth
Rolled a
level?
It's a 5th level.
Oh, I don't get Modify Memory. Damn it. That's like the
She
only spell I don't
Cast
get.
that spell, and you can kind of watch as the Furbolg, who is kind of getting protest and a little scared at magic just being cast right at her, suddenly kind of the expression falls. You can kind of see that same purplish pink arcane energy kind of flows into her eyes, and she just says, "You're gonna need to forget that us two were ever here." And she walks up the stairs as the woman lays in a stupor for about the next minute.
Will, go!
I'm going.
You stand
I'm
there? I
gonna
wonder what
save her.
happened.
Damn
Hey!
it.
You're not supposed to be here.
Man, are you okay?
Steps
What
upstairs
movie?
now.
What movie was that?
Sorry, I just
You never should have come here.
tried to avoid spending all of my big ones on such things, but oh well.
Mhm.
I have important things to find here. Maybe you can find something on your friend. And she makes off just down the halls.
Chris, about where would we be at this time?
You're still speaking at Windfell
Okay.
at
Just wanted to
Ben
double check.
Frass. At this
So we
point,
haven't
Wolfgang.
met up yet.
Yes.
Yeah, Wolfgang, you had to almost crack the door, as you had seen Racina charm and modify the memory of the attendant before both of them walked up.
Okay. Is it gonna cost me to follow? Did I see that they split up, basically?
You're starting to lose sight of that because they've gone both upstairs and are in like a balcony area. So like, in the next like 10 seconds, you're gonna lose sight of them both.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow, keep to the shadows.
Roll no self check.
Ugh.
DC is higher, since the stairs is probably gonna be the hardest part.
20 down.
Chris, to your DC is harder. He's like, up yours,
Yeah.
bitch.
No
It's
problem.
Like, stairs
You
for those.
Blink around, and you recognize she's in some type of charm, and you instead make a bolt down to the staircase she's at, and you just like quickly move onto like the opposite side of the railing, and just shimmy all the way up it, jump over, and you hide behind a bookcase. You just like Sly Cooper-esque, move her way all the way around before landing behind his bookcase.
Pull
You
these
watch
books
as-
aside.
This is a 35-year-old in like medieval time
You're right. This is like a 35-year-old man going. It's like Crunk if Crunk was
You
good.
see,
with
No.
a giant crossbow on his back.
Reinhardt is kind of standing still for a few moments just at the precipice here, and Rosina, with a purpose, has just charged forward.
I think I'm gonna keep to. I might keep to Rosina.
All right. Is there anything you want to do, Reinhardt?
Yeah, what makes it either I guess investigation or perception on like what makes the second floor so
You can roll investigation.
different? I guess I don't know. I'm just here. It's gonna be an 8.
Okay. I mean, the obvious part is you look through and you can see classified documents.
Hmm.
Things from not outside of Blumenthal as well. You see references of private affairs in Rexingstrom. In fact, the majority of these shelves involve Rexingstrom. A lot of them involve the Cerberus Assembly to some extent. A few of them sprinkled about mention other places. Some mention Felderwind, some mention Hupperduke. This seems to be the place where after some time, or for some reason the document is not classified, or enough time has passed, it ends up here in the archive.
Then with that, I guess I'll be spending time trying to find documentation on Oban.
Okay, roll another investigation check.
You got it, Will. I believe in you.
So much better. It's a 19.
19. Okay.
Night and day.
A documentation about a random
You-
demon in front
You
of me.
begin looking around for some mention of that. Meanwhile, Wolfgang, you're following Rosina, and you can see as she's like navigated back to a dark portion of here, and at this point she kind of has to cast some spell that illuminates the space here. She kind of walks forward and eventually starts shuffling through, just looking for books. If you give it about like 10 minutes, she eventually does kind of find one, just a binding of reports that she quickly starts flipping through. Closes that binding, just doesn't say anything. Watch as she quickly starts stowing it into a bag at her side. Anything you want to do, Wolfgang?
I need to know what she found. This is why I wish I'd taken Rogue.
Yeah, but then you would have
She's prime.
done way less
she's
damage.
prime for assassination.
Why would you have
just-
killed her?
You could have just picked Scout, I guess. That's
don't
just
even-
better. That's actually best.
What would it cost me to like knock her stealth knock
Well,
her
he
out?
is low in wisdom. He doesn't really respect mind your business. I don't know.
You... Okay.
Or because I don't really have anything to like mage hand away or
Going
anything
to
like
try
that.
and knock out the person who we have seen in combat.
No. You know what? Forget that. And log that she has those. I'm gonna make my way back to Reinhardt.
I think you made a wise decision.
Yes.
Reinhardt looking through random books on like medicine and science. Is Oban in here? No.
Wolfgang
Well-
comes up.
Yeah, knock Reinhardt out.
You
But
know, I was just
Reinhardt,
gonna
your search
stealth
for
away.
initially the words Oban are fruitless. You know, you start searching through important individuals. The name Oban doesn't really hit any important notes, but you start thinking. You remember other words. You instead use Angel of Irons, the belief that Oban had, and you do find reports on that. You find reports by both Righteous Brand Scout as well as spies that mention the impromptu and sudden faith of a deity known as the Angel of Iron, that it seems to have come up spontaneously within the past 30 years, and has always been involved in some way with the occult, in freeing an angel from chain-like bindings.
Angel
And
Eyes.
you note that the Empire, being by and large unsure about much of this and already having a very strict stance on religion in general, has already been persecuting and arresting any and all individuals pertaining to this cult.
This doesn't apply to me.
It's only a fraction, but
Yeah.
with that check, you're at least confident that Oban has not been around the Empire long enough to have created any sort of reputation, or at least any sort of reputation that's attached to his name.
All right.
Right. You all make your way. You too make your way downstairs with a Wolfgang tailing. Unless Wolfgang wants to give up now, or
No,
reveal it
no.
now.
You two lied to me.
I am the shadow that creeps in the night.
Christina does walk back. She's like, "Thank you. I have found what I was, something that confirms suspicions I have had."
What was that?
How do you say this?
These are not the droids you were looking for.
Modify memory.
Our word
Can you
death.
imagine? Fuck.
Power word kill.
The Cerberus Assembly has a knack for finding individuals of magical potency and seeing
Oh.
need to elect them higher to create something more. Well, it's an experience I don't wish upon anyone else. I was more or less curious about what happened to my family, because I went to the academy, and that much is foggy, but now I have figured it out.
What's your plan now?
Roll persuasion check.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
I just want to know,
That's
man.
a 21.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me now, bitch.
She has to think about it, but she looks at you kind of a squinted eye and a faint smile.
Wolfgang.
I think my plan is I want to play long enough to take something of great import to myself. And after that, I don't care what the Archmage thinks of, and I intend to distance myself from the Empire.
I like your style.
But first, I need to focus on taking that. I recall your friends have a Cloak of Elvenkind that is floating about.
Something of that sort,
And a beer. What?
if I can recall.
That's the plan. We'll see. Come, let's leave now.
Yes.
Wait, Chris, just if I heard you right, she's basically wants to steal the Cloak of Elvenkind.
Or she borrow. Yeah.
God.
She hasn't made any.
Borrow.
She wants
And
to
then she-
steal something
Something from
the
from the
assembly.
Empire.
Yeah,
Okay.
from the assembly. She both makes her way down. You hear the archivist is like, "Wait, did I let you up there?"
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, he said no.
Okay, no.
Yes. Both of you. Yes. Oh. Okay.
And she is
No.
just left baffled for a few moments and trying to think as you both.
That's great. Yes. Bye. What? Hold on. Wait. What?
No. Butt looking alien! Fucking.
That would be amazing if you but looked an alien to a magical being. But look, an
That's a-
alien.
Or that's a strange place for a piano.
It's
That said,
Wolfgang's just gonna whatever way is thematically appropriate to exit.
if you want, you can bail out a window. Otherwise, you can
Out a
make
window,
another stealth check.
out a window, down a rain gutter, over the fence.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but it takes a bit longer than your direct approach of the front door, but you do
With a
eventually.
40 stealth, with
point
a
of
39
exhaustion.
stealth check.
And then I think for an alibi, I'm going to go and buy some trinket from the market.
5 silver.
You come back. Look what I found,
Look what I
guys.
found.
You ditched us. For that.
So it's like he's really losing it in his age.
Man, Grant's over here, 35-year-old, really fucking losing it.
By
It's a little
jumping-
figure of
God,
it's
is
a
this
little,
what happens when we get into our... Is this what
a
happens
hard-
when we get old in D&D? Old being 35.
By
It's
jumping
a
out the
carved
window.
statue of a kobold.
By jumping out the window, you take a point
Anthony
of
upset
exhaustion
with the
tomorrow.
anger of the fact of we're basically calling a 35-year-old old and ancient. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm an old, ancient, out of shape 35-year-old. And there are 35-year-old Olympians.
Yeah, it's
And
a
you
relatively young age, and I don't know how. It's
Even in
become old
D&D,
as
it's a
that.
young age. Like, you're
It
talking
is.
like, my guy's an old, grizzled veteran, and fucking Roald was in his 40s.
Almost 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah! Like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm 35. I'm an old man in the Middle Ages. No, you're in D&D. You have magic.
I'm trying to separate. This is D&D. It's a fantasy world.
It's
and-
not the medieval times. You're not an
and-
old man with, like,
And what I know
in his
of medieval
grizzled
times
old
of,
age.
like,
All helps with arthritis. Anyway,
Yeah, you're not, like, riddled with scurvy and arthritis at death's door with, like, Lyme
But still,
disease and
it's
fucking...
a 35-year-old rolling 40s from stealth.
regardless,
Like a norm.
you hear a knock at the door,
His knees feel a little bit.
Benraph's
yeah.
home.
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear Racina call out, "It's us. Can we be let in?"
The Wolfgane's just gonna come trailing up.
How much was our
Insight check
downtime,
later.
Chris?
Sorry, there was a lot of
Insight check.
questions.
All right,
Roll.
insight check on him, and I had a. How long was our downtime?
You had like 30 minutes so far.
All right, I am de-attuning to the pepper box.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, the inside check on the Racina at the door.
What was it?
24.
Okay. It sounds like Racina.
I opened the door, and Chris, when I saw the eye, did any part of the eye to me look similar to what I've seen Racina's magic be?
Roll an Arcana check.
Fuck me.
Ooh, can I? Well, that wouldn't really.
You're not thinking it.
Yeah,
but
no.
17.
17. You recognize her magic besides the occasional gravity crush, which doesn't appear to have any distinct coloration, any other time she casts, it's usually a purplish pink.
Okay.
So it falls in line.
Okay. I open the door. Next time, just ask where we're going. Don't waste the spell slot. Come in quickly. Come. Wolfgang, come.
Next time, of course.
Yes, hey. Hi, guys. Look what I found. That's neat.
What are we looking at?
Get the fuck in the
Cobalt.
house.
It's an
Get-
ivory
get it,
cobalt.
Get in the house. Chris, do
Wolfgang?
I see anyone was like
Wolfgang, roll a deception check.
looking?
You
man.
Played yourself, Willis!
This is the guy that gets crits.
17.
Fuck,
I
you
know you're
barely
lying.
I know you're lying.
Christina lifts her head. And she goes, okay. Nice go,
My
boy.
passive insight, Anamir, is Viking. It's 19 for my passive insight.
Yeah,
You know
So I
he's not
very much
calling
know
it
he's
bullshit.
lying.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know he's lying.
I'm like, what the fuck do you get the fuck?
Yeah.
Chris, do I see?
He's not telling.
Do I
bullshit.
see anyone like noticing us coming into the house or?
Just a quick peek around. No, doesn't seem like there's any like alarm being raised or the like.
Okay, nothing. No invisible eye watching us.
No, not this
Okay.
time.
Cool. Because
Though by now it would have faded. Is it less an hour?
Yeah, less than an hour.
Okay, no,
That's
never mind.
like
It's still up.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's still up.
Alright. Well, I'm glad you three can join us.
So
Nice
what have we
cobalt.
found out, Saren?
So, it seems, well, one, Anavir's uncle is just his adoptive father, so. just
So
to
that's
say.
news.
Two, it seems that, Anavir's uncle, the Starossa, the goblin attacks were orchestrated by him to kill Anavir's family.
And just attack the city.
Anavir got banished after the second goblin attack, it seems, because he was alive and he didn't want him around. You can't very easily kill a hero. You can banish one, though. You weren't around for when I finished my communication. In the Immaculate and or the Starossa's house, there is answers we seek about Anavir's mother, and his uncle does know about his mother. Now that we're all together, I was going to spend a quick 11 minutes to double check some last things for the day. Is there any questions we have before we rest and strategize before nightfall, where we'll go into the burn, where we believe a secret passage into the Immaculate lays? Oh, Anavir, I did want to ask.
Oh.
You have your Cloak of Elvenkind.
That would be
that
on
helps with-
Harbinger.
Oh, Harbinger.
What the hell?
Would you
Why am you tuning
mind-
into the box?
I was about to ask if you mind if I have it for tonight, because my stealth is rather shite with this armor.
And a convenience
It's-
factor. After
it's a-
tonight, I'd also like to take the Cloak of Elvenkind.
I looked at her. Why do you need the Cloak of Elvenkind?
Well, I am confident enough in my ability to prowl around. There are things I need to do and accomplish that are against the Cerberus Assembly's whim within the Solstice Academy.
I can vouch for
Okay.
based on what we found at the archives.
Okay. So when we enter Exington, you'd like to borrow it to go into the Solstice Academy to get some things.
Yes.
Alrighty. I think a deal can be struck on that, as long as everyone else is okay with it.
I'm not too worried about that either.
Whatever.
Out of curiosity, as information on this would be appreciated, I still, like, as soon as I talk about any of this, Chris, that sounds anything sketchy, I, like, and continue to talk. Like, I'm basically, like, my eyes growing purple. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Like a sonar, just
um,
like overaction.
What are you looking to take from the Solstice Academy?
Roll a persuasion check.
20. Unnatural.
There's something important to the research that is conducted within the facilities there. Very important. Important enough that I don't feel like revealing what it is should a prying ear be within range.
Well, they're not.
Fair.
As my eyes look very glowy purple. They're not. And it's something you might want to write down and let us know because, well, we do trust you and you've been very helpful. I believe it's safe
We trust
for
you,
us.
but we don't trust you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We'd like to know why you wish to borrow something of ours we may never get back.
Kind of a
Just as a point, Harbinger, the Storm are talking.
Yes.
Harbinger is definitely still a rogue, and he's open to trade, but he isn't very open on giving.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. I want that. Yeah.
Joey doesn't share food.
Yeah, but I can be upfront. We are willing to help you, but it seems from our previous interactions in different parts of information that you're not wanting to continue with the company you keep currently on the greater scheme of things. And while we very much respect and am understanding of that, we believe that us helping you is in our best interest, but also tit for tat. You are in there anyways. I personally, if there's anything you could grab that would be helpful to us, would be appreciated. If that makes sense.
She's kind of like mulling it over.
She's like,
Let me put it very clearly. I am interested in pursuing Arcana. Always have been. I have reached the end of where the Cerberus Assembly will allow me to go for that, without jumping through hoops. And I was prepared to jump through one said hoop. Until said hoop involved fighting an Androsphinx inside a long ancient ruin. I found that perhaps a change was necessary. Coming in Blumenthal has helped subside any lingering doubts. I'm ready to commit to stealing something from them. A few things, truth be told.
Seem to have that effect on people.
and then I'm assuming leaving the Empire and no longer dealing with them.
Ideally. I know how to hide myself from them, and I know how to take care of myself in that regard.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You've been a friend to us. If there's a place you needed to lay low, I'd recommend Gordan. In general, they're pretty powerful. They are not someone that the Empire would randomly send people to try and kill.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll have to think on it.
Also,
I want something away from the cities.
okay.
Don't worry about this for now. She kind of looks now to Harbinger. Your cloak. I don't know if you'd be willing to give it away freely after. I don't know if you're actually there or if you're just AFK.
You're trying to be all like, well, he's not there. Fuck.
I don't know if your brain is here or not.
Lights are on, but the hamster's just spinning in his wheel.
No, it's just like,
The wheel's spinning, but the hamster's dead.
He does this every once in a while. He kind of stares off in the distance like he just had a stroke.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
We will.
Happens a lot in combat.
it's a lot of
It's a wonder he's alive, really.
I
Mainly
swear,
combat.
after the 14th stroke in one episode, it's really, I mean,
Well, in the means of being open, is there anything you wanted to quickly ask?
Well, if Reinhardt vouches for you the information you seeked, then it's no worry of mine.
Perfect.
I'd say then for the rest of today we should rest up, as we'll probably have a late night.
Probably will.
But yeah, just to reiterate, we'll be going into the burn, so our rest will get us back our spells and get us ready, and myself personally get my spells prepared for more stealthy matters. If anyone has a way to make me not jingle like a rain can, that'd be great.
Take out your armor.
I could cast Pass Without a Trace, which would make it a little harder for people to detect you.
If we
but
are...
I can-
Okay, it's raining. Sorry.
I have something
got you.
should you need it for such a thing, but I'll only cast it on you when we come to that burn.
Okay.
When we come to
Out
it.
of
It only lasts an
curiosity.
hour.
Okay.
excuse me.
When it comes to spells, if I need to hide quickly, I would say when it comes to seeing at night, no matter the distance, we'll all be okay. When it comes to, I have a personal spell of mine that if someone were to see, let's say, me, I can make it so that that's not a problem. But I believe we might want to move around some magical connections we have. Does anyone have the ability to change the way I look quickly?
Yes.
Okay. My spell that I have will basically create a double of me, and it can go off on its own and cause all kinds of wonderful trouble itself. But it will look exactly how I look when I cast the spell, so if you're near me, I'll let you know quickly for me to cast that spell, so then it can go off on its own and cause mayhem and a distraction. It's very helpful, actually.
I have 3 things
Ah.
that could cause distraction as well.
I have a few
Oh,
things
yes,
as
you
well.
do. Wonderful. So
I have
we
a
are
lot
good
of
on
things.
distractions. I've got some ways to make myself invisible. I pretty much believe everyone on stealth, other than myself, should be good.
And with that, I also do have a grappling hook, a lasso,
Yes.
chain, and rope,
Same here.
if need be.
Courtesy of our friends, so do I. I completely forgot I had that, actually.
And a shovel.
Oh, geez, Will. Fuck. The shovel. Goddamn.
Maybe
As
we
for
need a
myself, I have means of jumping and teleporting should need arise.
Wonderful. I'd say a long rest would be nice. I would like to check some things. When it comes to questions, I'll be communicating with my deity to get some answers on things. Is there anything in general, that anyone is dying to know?
Not particularly.
Who has those crystals that you guys took from? So Stormer said,
do.
is why he said either he has it or you have it.
I have all of them.
I just need one, worth 150 gold, if that's
Oh
possible.
yeah, I never wrote down, I think, the residuum I had. I believe it was just a fuck ton. No, we had 5 bags total. I have 350 gold bags, right? Oh, here we go. 60 gold residuum, 2 bags of 500. Because we had a 60 gold chunk, 2 gold. No, we had like 4 bags, Chris, or was it like 6 bags or 5 bags?
There were 5 bags. You have given
2
bags to the
Okay, so I gave 2, so we have 3. Okay, so we have 3 500 gold bags of residuum. Chris, the raw ones, would they work, or does it need to be powderized to be used for spells?
powderized.
Okay, I will take 1 bag out without telling anyone the actual value and put it in Will's hand and say, Reinhardt's hand, and say, this will probably cover anything you need.
It's a very
to check
kind of like
this.
furrowed brow as Racina's looking at the residuum. Being just changed hands.
Boop, done. Without a question of how much anything. Chris, just to double check, because residuum can basically be used for anything.
Yes.
Chris,
Because it's basically just
remember-
raw magical power.
Yeah, it basically replaced any magical component that would be needed or
Yes.
material.
But does it consume the residuum period?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's, let's say, an example is my summon celestial spell does not consume a magical thing. Using residuum would still consume it.
Yes. I'll say for residuum, because it's not the material object, you're using the
Okay.
powder for it.
Okay, so Will, I don't know if you want to do that still.
So you said it's like a one-time thing.
The residuum, I'll say,
using-
will always be a one-time.
Oh, yeah, never mind then.
Okay, then I'll keep the bags and I'll
Ask where you
I'll
found
basically
residuum.
in our wonderful tales in Talonstead.
Hmm.
There are residuum mines there.
Makes
You've-
sense.
You may have heard some unhappiness about them there. We left with, what's a good way to put it? A fuck ton.
Well, quite
And,
clearly.
oh, you think
Chris,
that
I remember
that was it?
You were talking
No.
as that one NPC that said, "Hey, they had the crystal in their rifle,
Yes.
or was it harpoon?
They had a
But
they
it was the
had a
raw
crystal.
crystal.
Yes, they had a raw crystal in theirs. Their device
just
was
think it's-
also a two-handed monstrosity.
Yeah.
It was like a giant
Yeah.
Did
like,
that
minigun.
consume because it was in the raw crystal form
You
rather
are
than
unsure.
powderized form?
You never saw her fire, her massive device that she always carried. But roll an intelligence
Which is
check
probably for the best.
if you want. Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Just thinking back on it, you're trying to recall.
I'll just click on my +4 thing.
Yeah.
Okay, why? God damn! I forgot to not roll on the desktop. That is
Just make
a-
the window smaller. It rolls faster.
Well, I know.
Which is
I'm
so
supposed
dumb.
to- 17.
17. Yeah, I'd say your engineering know-how tells you she has an injection port, and judging by how easy it is for her to evict a crystal from its locale, it must expend it in some way.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got like
It
Chris, you
probably
just said I
functions
had,
like a fusion core
probably.
Yeah,
You just said I
that's-
had like
that's
a
I had
metric.
like a fusion
for
core.
Fallout.
Yeah, Chris, you said I
Five.
basically just had like a metric fuck ton of raw residuum.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
how much you have, but being individuals that have never refined residuum before, you're not sure the translation of rock to powder that
Yeah.
you actually have.
Actually, Racina, out of curiosity, it's a block of residuum in for it. If you can answer the question, do you know how to turn raw residuum into powdered residuum?
Refined.
I need to roll for her to see if she would know.
Yeah, I was expecting that was just a. She's not gonna be like, of course, let me pull out my scientific journal on how to do it. Here's the stoichiometry and everything.
The
The only thing I
Think-
saw was like the heating and the crushing element.
You had that about right. There is a heating element. You need to heat the crystal up to a certain point and thus removes the impurities. And following that, you crush it into a powdered substance, upon which it can be used for myriad different purposes.
Do you happen to know the heat?
Personally,
Hose until it changes its structural integrity.
Okay.
personally,
Well,
just stay away from it. I've had my more than fair share.
She's a traditional caster. She likes casting things the old-fashioned way.
or if
No.
you know Critical Role
The real
stuff,
way?
you know that she had a fuck ton of it probably stuck in her arms. And probably has a not happy relationship with it.
Basically, an individual with scars does not have the residuum, but a person with a tattoo-like appearance does have the residuum implants. And that's
Oh, yeah,
what
we
glyph
could
chant
get-
is. That's what her glyph chant is.
Like that one
Oh.
guy.
That's so she basically got a magic tattoo. That
In a way,
allows her.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. If a magic tattoo was permanently modifying your body with extremely potent,
Magical
Yeah.
crystals. Okay. Okay, well,
That's the difference.
then I
Like
assume
Oh.
you don't want.
Mordecai and Thalen had scars, but she has the tattoo.
Okay, so she has a perfected glyph chant. They had
Or,
imperfect
yeah,
glyph chant.
successful. Yeah,
Got it.
or unsuccessful.
Okay,
for
so that
one
means
way or
she's very. Yeah, that means she's
Dylan-
very valuable to the
Dylan
Empire.
just keeps failing. Thalen just keeps failing downwards.
Well, it's also the fact that basically
Wow.
just like yeah he does, but like Chris, isn't the success rate like super low for like people to actually get glyph chant?
There's there's other things involved to it. Thalen is a rare case, and
Okay.
you don't know his full story, and his full
No, but
story
I
isn't
meant-
done yet.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah.
Failing Thalen.
Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty. Well.
Well, let's.
Also,
Renhut, would you still like to keep some with you just in case of emergencies?
sure. Yeah, you can give me some of that, and you can have this back. Like, give you back your mace.
Oh. Okay.
It just,
It just-
disappears into.
Yeah, because it's an extra
Heave.
dimensional thing.
Woo, multi-dimensional haversack, yay!
It's so hilarious. Because you have parties that go into the astral sea, and then your bags of holding is like the size of a balloon. It's hilarious. Because kind of inverted.
Thankfully, not quite. Doesn't get that bad. It's still a portal to a different area, but it does
yeah,
get.
weird and wonky. You put something in your bag. Ow! What the fuck just hit me? Oh no.
I don't know.
But
Well,
here, let me
Shall we
take
take
out.
our? Shall we set for the
Um,
night, or are
yeah,
we
let's
doing our?
Here's the thing.
yeah,
doing
let's
our
because it's
mission
like
by
midday,
night?
right, Chris?
Yeah, it's a little past midday by now.
Okay, then yeah,
Saren.
we probably want to. Yeah. What's up?
I was going to attune to the Cloak of Elvenkind, but if you
Okay.
really need it,
I mean,
tell me.
when it comes to magical items that we have, there's some things we should probably move around, but I personally, with my armor, I'm not very good at stealthing, and it's if it comes to
Have you
stealthing,
considered not wearing the armor?
yes, but then I go from someone who can take a very good hit to someone who is rather not able to
Squishy.
as much.
The correct
And
term
so-
is squishy, Saren.
Yeah, I have some armor from my hometown of Guardan that I'd like to pick up that gets rid of this issue. But unfortunately, until then, I can't really do anything about it.
I could cut the chains off of it for you.
That would defeat the whole purpose of my armor. No, I will actually, Chris, I will, so, I mean, when it comes to that, I'd say if we're going to try and be stealthy, it's better I keep my armor on. Just because it keeps us
How long
bulky
did it
and
take
it
to
takes
put armor on and off?
10 minutes for heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something I can take on and off in battle.
Okay.
But
I was hoping to not blow invisibility again, but sure.
I would base even invisible. It doesn't stop noise, which is what's causing my disadvantage. Like,
Chink, chink,
Yeah.
chink, chink.
yeah, I believe Chris,
We have-
right? That's what's
We have time to sleep on it. It's it's the
Yeah.
heaviness in a material.
it's how noisy it is. Yeah. So, like, if I could cast a silence spell, that would help. But yeah. So
My cheeks allergic.
yeah, I'd say for now we should sleep and prepare for that, and we can think on it in the morning on what magical items we wish to mess with. But I do know one thing, Torn, you don't have many magical items connected to you, correct?
Taps my spear. That's about it.
would you be more comfortable? And I have the pendant out. Would you be more comfortable having this with you? If I were to do the cloak, I wouldn't be able to have it compared to my other things. But it basically it prevents you from dying when you're down. It stabilizes you. It also, when we take our rests, it helps you heal faster. It gives you double the die roll on the dies used for
That would
short
be
rest.
helpful.
And it also stabilizes you if you're down. You cannot die unless you are. You will not die natural. Like you cannot die like of natural causes if you're at 0 HP. You must be like action taken to kill you. Yeah, it's the periap of wound closure. While you are wearing this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die, you regain hit points double the number of hit points it restores. Yeah.
Sure.
Because, I mean, if I have the cloak to get rid of my disadvantage, I can't have it, and it'd make it so that you just can't die, really. Unless someone forcibly kills you. And then when we take rests, if you're getting hurt, it's been really helpful. I use like 2 die on short rests and I'm full.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so I'll just I'll keep it in my inventory and I'll just
Yeah.
unattach to it and I'll mark that it's not in inventory. Yeah,
I will spend the time to attune to it.
Yeah, I literally wrote it as not in inventory with Torn Ball. But yeah, it's really a super cool low level wondrous item.
It's a handy thing.
It's super nice, especially as like a cleric. It basically says, hey, if I get downed, as the main healy person, you guys just have to go 1 HP up, and then
Okay, cool. So I'll just cancel my deattunement to the pepper box, I suppose.
Yeah. And then I'll connect to Cloak of Elvenkind.
It just hovers
I'll add
over
that
to you. It just hovers
Okay.
over to you.
Well, aren't you all fancy? Actually, do you not have to attune to this? No. Oh no, requires attunement.
That's been...
Oh, I get it. I haven't attuned to it, so I don't have the little box. Attune. Okay, there we go. Okay.
That said, you
Yep.
will take a early rest in the study of Ben Raff's home, which he's more than willing to let you all stay as long
Is
as
it a
you
long
want.
rest or a short rest?
It's a long rest. It's gonna be a long rest.
Oh,
More than
okay.
willing, he
Wow.
preps some food for you in the night for you to wake up to and quickly snack on before.
Alrighty. I now
Journey.
need to spend like 2 minutes going through my spells.
Begin your journey towards the burn. But that is where we're gonna end it.
Oh
That's
wow.
gonna be yeah.
Yeah, very short session.
Good
Yeah,
information.
so I was like,
Okay.
let's roll. No.
Yeah. What's up with out of curiosity, why the short session?
I just don't have enough prepped.
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Busy week at
that's-
work.
Chris,
How is
Chris,
work
I,
going, by the way, Chris?
It's going. It's yeah.
Chris, I
going.
noticed
Well,
your status update. I'm sorry about your dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know how hard it
alright.
is.
That's the main reason. Not having much.
Yeah.
So
I understand. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
buddy. That's yeah. When
yeah.
when mine died, it was hard.
Well, thank you for having as much as we had, Chris.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Definitely
mean,
appreciate it.
now actually, I mean, happily, Chris
Always.
knows exactly what we're doing next session, so there's not like shit.
Yeah,
I have
works
to prep
out.
like 7. Now I hit Chris instead of having to prep like 4 different things. Now you're like 1 different thing.
Because all these places have something to it,
Mm-hmm.
except the Immaculate, because the Immaculate has the most to it. So I didn't get
Yeah.
around to finishing it.
No worries. Totally understandable. It
Oh, yeah.
actually. Yeah. Oh, hey guys, are we? I messaged in the chat, but no one really like actually gave me an answer, and anyone who did answer gave me kind of like a not helpful answer. What are we doing on the 26th? Are we having a session after Christmas or not?
Oh.
What's-
That's
Six.
still to
day
be
is it?
determined for me.
I don't see why
kind
not.
of. I mean, for me, it kind of. I was going to be doing some stuff on the 26th, so if we weren't, it wouldn't be a bad thing for me.
It wouldn't be a bad thing for me either.
Are you guys off on the 27th?
Yeah.
Monday,
I
I
am
can't go
off.
Monday.
Okay.
If we-
From
What
from
about the 28th or
15th
29th?
onward,
What if we did it before?
basically free.
27th, my day off. I asked for it because
Okay.
it's my birthday.
Because I
So I
don't
got it
I don't
off.
actually have a
nice.
job
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
Oh,
So-
they fired you?
Oh, I quit.
Yeah, he
Oh
quit.
shit!
Yeah.
They weren't going to approve me to go for my course, so I just said, I'm out of there.
Okay, up yours.
So,
Do you,
so,
do you have
from
to
the
pay
fifth-
for your course?
yeah, I do.
Oh, how much is it for your third
It's
level
like
course?
1,016. Not too bad.
And this makes you what does it make
It's me
you
a level
become?
3 for my apprenticeship, which is the last level before I can actually have my hours for my level 4. It's like the next level before I can take my level 4, which at level 4 it's considered
journeyman?
a red seal, which is the highest level of technician in my trade.
Oh shit! So you get a
I can work as
huge
a
pay
journeyman.
bonus at.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So you basically become a journeyman once you
Yeah.
get to past level 4. How many hours do you need? Oh, you're heading out, Chris?
7,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out now. Have a
Yeah,
good
Okay.
one.
I'm gonna wrap up my
Thanks, Chris.
stream and
56. So I can take my level 4. I would just have to work for another 500 hours.
well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this wonderful stream. We'll see you next time, whenever that will be, because I don't even know about next week, but we'll see. But
Next week I'm good.
Fine.
Next week,
Oh,
next
next
week
week?
is fine. It's
Oh,
the-
next
No,
week's
it's the weekend
off
after
day.
next week.
oh, okay.
Yeah, next weekend I'm all good.
We're talking about
What?
the day after Christmas.
What's up,
being
Will?
said, after the 15th, I'm guessing next weekend's gonna be the same, but like after the 15th,
Well,
until
I
I
won't
be
find
here
the
another
19th.
job, I'm
Yes.
basically free.
So I was
through the
right.
week.
every day. So,
Every
Will,
day.
you
Okay.
can't do next week?
I can't do the 19th.
Why
19th
not?
is 8 years.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Hey,
fuck.
Will,
Um,
random thing. You don't need to answer. Everything all good?
Yeah. Why?
Shannon was not like happy yesterday because I messaged you.
I'm
and
ending the
Shannon.
stream. Have a nice day.